I own a business, I stand on business, and I have no business being on the show anymore. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I am Raphael and I am here to review season 9, episode 17 and the finale to the Real Housewives who are self-absorbed of Potomac. So we start the finale off at Karen's house and she wakes up her husband Ray from his afternoon nap. She starts talking to him about Kenya's dog charity event that she's having. So Ray asked her, "Are you gonna be walking in the show yourself?" Karen, she was just like,
"Absolutely not, Ray. I have bigger fish to fry. I'm not worried about Stacy and her shenanigans. I could be going to jail soon."
Because Karen isn't her feelings, because Stacy was mutual in this whole situation between Mia and Karen instead of being Team Karen. So now here we are. And this is no surprise because, Karen told the entire group the very first episode this season,
"I only want real soldiers around me. I don't want any fake bitches around me, okay?"
So this is no surprise. So then Wendy calls her and she's like, "Oh, I got this big opportunity to film an episode of the Dr. Wendy show for season 2. Did anybody even watch season 1? Wendy, I got you for season 3 though. I didn't even know that we were at season 2, let alone season 1. But I got you for season 3. I'm gonna write a memo. I'm gonna support season 3. Support Wendy Osefo on her YouTube channel for season 3. I promise I'll get there. But, she has this big opportunity to film an episode at the White House. That's really, really cool. So that's impressive. And she wants Karen to be her guest because she's been such a good friend to her, allegedly. And I'm like, don't you just hate it when you invite a good so-called friend to the White House and they just secretly don't like you? We've all been there before, right? And I feel like secretly, Wendy's, this was just a disguise because I feel like Wendy was secretly trying to help Karen out. Okay, Karen, if I bring you to the White House as I'm filming my show, you could sneak off and meet Joe Biden and ask him to pardon you from your case. I'm not dumb. I see what they're doing because I can already picture it now. Karen, she meets with Joe Biden and she's like,
"Hi, Mr. Biden. I was wondering, before you leave office in January and that orange clown comes into the office, I was wondering, can you pardon me? Because I really don't want to go to jail."
So then we get this interesting scene between Kenya and her best friend. What was his name? The one who was fighting for his life against Apollo on the Pillow Talk episode. He was wearing those red silky Victoria's Secret pajamas, the one that TLC wore in the Red Light Special video. Brandon. Kenya meets with Brandon to have this awkward sit down, this luncheon, and it was just very pointless because she's telling him, "Oh, well, you know what, AJ? Well, I can't wait for you to meet my man. TJ, he's such a man. And, honestly, I really don't need sex." Here goes AJ. "I can wait." Exactly, Brandon. Exactly. And then speaking of, Walter, he decides to call and he's just like, "Oh, hey, Kenya." Kenya, she turns the phone and she's like, "Oh, you remember my friend AJ, right?" Here goes Walter. "Who?" Kenya, I don't know. It's starting to look more and more that you really pay this man to be in your life because how is he your best friend, but yet the man of your dreams has never met him or doesn't even know of him? Interesting. It was just this awkward back and forth between them. "Oh no, you didn't say my name. Oh no, I did. No, you didn't. Yes, I did." And if I was Brandon, I would have been like, "Okay, fuck you. Can I get a salad?" No, I'm not about to waste my time with you. So eventually he hangs up and Brandon tells Kenya, "Kenya, you need to stop. This man is obviously corny. He is not the man for you. He is not the man of your dreams. What are you doing?" And I agree with Brandon because Kenya, what's not clicking? And I've said it before that the more and more we see of Walter, the more he reminds me of William from the hit show Girlfriends. Stacy, you could do better. Stop it. Then we head over to Michael Darby's house where Ashley is staying at. She's with her 2 sons, Dylan and Dean, and it is crazy how big they're getting because they were just babies a second ago, right? So then Ashley's mom, Sheila, she shows up, and I just know that anytime Ashley asks her, "Hey, can you film a scene with me?" I know that Sheila is just stressed. She's probably on the other end of the phone no, not again. Because anytime they film together, Ashley is just constantly telling her bad news. So I already know that Sheila probably showed up drunk and stressed. She probably took 3 tequila shots, a glass of wine, and spun around in a circle and did a prayer in front of the door "Please let this be the day that my daughter tells me something good for once." So she shows up with Aunt Monica. Uncle Lump is also there. Uncle Lump, he showed up already okay, this is nothing new. Just tell us what bad news is going on in your life now and just get this over with. They're just over it, right? But surprisingly, Ashley's just "Oh, well, I got some good news. As of next week, my divorce should be official." And then she has the nerve to blame it on Virginia. She's like, the state of Virginia, they keep holding up my case, so that's the only reason why it hasn't gone through yet. The state of Virginia is looking at this episode like, now why am I in it? That's a bunch of lies. We never got any papers from you to begin with. What are you talking about, right? They start talking about her drag king performance, which honestly, when I watched it, I was feeling something. I was just like, ooh, I kind of like this. But then the more I watched, the more I'm like, wait a minute. The illusion started going away because I'm like, oh, wait a minute. That's really Ashley Darby underneath the drag king looking. She has no alimony from Michael. She got nothing out of her marriage. Then I was just like, okay, I'm over it. But it was cute, right? So then she starts talking about her new relationship, situationship, whatever you want to call it today, with Josh, this guy named Josh. And she's like, oh, he's just so amazing. And he's going to be my storyline for next season. Aunt Monica is just like, look, you need to slow it down. You really don't know how to choose men. You need to maybe take some time for yourself. Ashley's just like, no, I can't because we're about to start filming season 10 very soon. And I need a storyline. So I need to hire Josh as my boyfriend. So then Josh calls her and she's like, oh, hey, honey, how are you? And then Dylan, he starts jumping at the phone like, oh, is that daddy? Is that daddy? Can I talk? Can I talk to him? Can I talk? And then Ashley's like, no, sweetie. This is mommy's storyline for season 10. Go in the other room and play with your brother, okay? Like, no, this is not daddy. And I'm like, okay, Ashley, if she's happy and if it's genuine, then whatever, right? And then she starts singing her infamous song, what's the song? I'm not healing and I'm toxic. I got no money for my divorce, or whatever she said. We then see Jazelle and her 3 daughters planting a tree in the backyard in honor of her dad who passed away. She says that it was a really rough time in her life, not only losing her father, but also having to transition her daughters to college all at the same time. She had to keep it together. And I will give Jazelle that, kudos to her for keeping it together, because Jazelle, no matter what is thrown in her direction, she does keep it together. For the most part, but I mean, it was just really sad to hear that story. She starts getting emotional, she starts crying, her daughters are there, they start hugging her, and it's moments like this, I've said it before, that I love seeing Giselle's vulnerable side, because we really don't get such an emotional side out of her, so, it's always nice to see that and the connection with her daughters, of course, so I do feel for her. Then we see Wendy and her whole entire family, they went over to the White House, she's doing a one-on-one interview with the press secretary, and that's very, very impressive, Wendy. Like, this is what I love seeing the Housewives on the Housewives show, not crashing into trees like other Housewives, but, congratulations to Wendy. She looks so beautiful, and just like Eddie said in the confessional, to see Wendy's evolution from her first season all the way up to now has been beautiful. Like, she really has just stepped it up every single season. Like, she's actually doing something, right? And, they're walking around the White House, which, first of all, I was shocked that they even allowed the Bravo cameras inside the White House, especially after the whole fiasco on the Real Housewives of DC. But, if you know, you know. But, and then on top of that, Wendy had a nasty... She had a nasty yellow suit. She looked so beautiful. So she's sitting down with the press secretary. She also looked beautiful in her orange dress. And, the interview was really nice. Karen, she shows up, and I'm like, I guess they just allow any type of snake in the White House now, huh? So it's finally time for Kenya's dog charity event. Vivian is there, as well as Kenya's best friend, AJ. And not only is Kenya hosting this event, she's co-hosting it with her boyfriend, her other half, the guy that she's paying to be on the show, allegedly, Walter. Walter shows up, and he looks at her outfit like, okay. And then Kenya, she's like, I mean, do you like it? I did something different with my hair, and, I don't know, what do you think? You like it, right? And what does Walter say? I mean, if you like it, I love it. No way. No. There's no way. It could not be me. It wouldn't be me. It couldn't be me. Like, Kenya, what are you doing? Like, seriously, what are you doing? What are you doing? No, seriously, I want to answer. What are you doing? Come over here. No, let's just chat. Just me and you. Nobody else. Cut the cameras. seriously, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, this man is just, that's disrespectful to me. Like, I wish somebody wouldn't. Actually, no, they wouldn't. They wouldn't say that to me. Like, that is crazy. If you like it, I love it. That's insane to me. Like, that's basically you look a mess. And, she looked okay. I mean, it wasn't my favorite look, but she looked all right. But damn, and this is the guy that you're so crazy about? Like, get off the floor, Kenya. And then on top of that, Walter, he's like, oh, that's your best friend, AJ? Wait, I want to talk to him. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. He goes up to AJ in front of Kenya, and he's just like, look, me and you, we're on the same team, right? He said it, not me. He did. This came out of his mouth. I'm just quoting him, but I'm just looking at my screen like, we know, sis, we know, queen. And AJ caught it, and he was just like, wait, you mean Team Stacy, right? So Walter's looking at him like, not necessarily what I was gonna say, but yes, Team Stacy, yeah, we need to protect anybody who's against Stacy. Yes, for sure. That's exactly what I was gonna say. I'm like, okay, Walter, okay. We see each other, but okay. So then he tells Kenya, can I just talk to you for a second privately? And I'm like, no, absolutely not. You didn't even compliment me, and now you want to talk private? Absolutely not. So then everybody starts coming in one by one. We see Jazzy and her golden breasts, Kiarna and her no good boyfriend, whatever he is to her. We see Karen. Karen just left a bad taste in my mouth this episode because she walks in and she's like,
well, I never said I was not going to support Stacy. I was still going to come support the dogs. It's okay. I'm the grand dame.
She sees Stacy. They awkwardly say hello. Stacy's like, look, can we talk privately about whatever's going on between us? So they sit down at the booth. Stacy's coming at Karen very peacefully, like, look, I just want to know what's the problem, what's going on. But Karen had a whole different agenda because she came at Stacy very unwarranted, very unprovoked, out of 10 for no reason. She starts off by telling her, you know what, you've been demoted now. You're no longer my assistant anymore. You're not wanted on this show. And I'm like, Karen, who are you to tell anybody that they're demoted? You demoted yourself into a tree. And now you're off the show. You're not even at the reunion. And yet Stacy is. So who's really demoted? Karen just wanted somebody up her ass, but Stacy's just not like that. She has her own mind, and she's like, look, I'm loyal to myself. I'm not loyal to Karen or to Mia. And then we see in a flashback that, yes, she did defend Karen a couple of times against Mia, but yet Karen was just like, oh, well, I didn't see you do that in person. Like, at this point, Karen, what is your real issue with Stacy? Because it's just really not that serious. You're obviously projecting everything that's going on in your life with your case against Stacy, and you're just letting it unleashed on her because, and then on top of that, the name calling, she starts calling her raggedy. She was just like, well, first of all, Stacy, you look raggedy in everything that you wear, especially that dress you're wearing. You look raggedy. And I'm like, raggedy? Says the one who was looking raggedy herself in that video with the cop, but okay. And Stacy, she was just like, oh, so you're calling Vivian raggedy because this is her dress. Ooh, not Vivian getting hit. But Stacy did get a one-up on Karen when she asked her, what are you drinking? I'm like, damn, Stacy. Stacy, I feel like if you push her buttons just enough, we'll see a whole different side of her. But, Karen, she did get you with that. And speaking of raggedy, we see Jazelle. Jazelle shows up with this puffy, tacky loofah dress. And, oh, Jazelle, we were on the right track. You look beautiful at the reunion with your dress, and then you showed up with this, trying to one-up Stacy because this is a dress that originally Wendy was going to buy, but Stacy was just like, no, you're going to upstage me at my event. I'm not allowing that. So Jazelle went behind Stacy's back to get the dress to try to upstage Stacy. Now, did Jazelle upstage Stacy? No. We also see the Sesame Street fighter, Kiarna. She's telling the group that her relationship is basically down the toilet. And Kiarna, come over here for a second. Just come over here for a quick minute. Just come over here. Sit in front of me. Sit right there. Scoot back a little bit. You're stepping on my foot. Kiarna, you're too good for this man. Just leave him in the dust. Like, you could do so much better. You could find a better man who actually cares about you and, cares about your needs. Leave him. Like, you're too good for that. So then we see Ashley. She shows up with her rental boyfriend, Josh. She goes up to Jazelle being messy right away. She's like, well, Stacy did tell me that she was actually, she had this whole meetup with Karen, and Karen's talking really bad about Wendy behind her back. And I'm like, ooh, I believe it. And then Stacy, the way Stacy went about this, was it messy? Yeah. Did she open her mouth and come off a little untrustworthy? A little bit, but I mean, I would too. The way Karen came at me, oh yeah, now I'm definitely gonna spill everything that you told me about everybody else in this group. So I'm not mad at her with it. So eventually, Stacy, she goes into the group and she's like, yeah, Karen, she was talking about Wendy. She says that she's self-absorbed, that she's not a girl, and that she's not Potomac. She doesn't represent Potomac. I believe it. Because if we remember Wendy's first season when she came on saying, oh yeah, I know Karen. Karen refused to acknowledge her. She was like, no, I don't know who she is. She's just a fan. We met maybe once and that was it. So I definitely feel like Karen talked a lot, behind Wendy's back to Stacy. And I don't see Stacy being a liar. Then again, this whole situation with her and TJ. So maybe, I don't know. I could be wrong. But I definitely believe that Karen would say something like that. And what's wrong with being self-absorbed? I don't take that as an insult. I'm self-absorbed. So, and Wendy, I mean, she has a million reasons to be self-absorbed. So who cares, So eventually Karen, and this is how I know that Karen starts getting nervous, because she starts pulling a charade. She was just like, wait, hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute. When did I talk about? I never said. Hold on. Wait. No. Hold on. Who's Wendy? I was just waiting for her to say, spring, summer. I'm like, Karen, you got caught. You got exposed. Just come out with it because all this. I don't know what you're talking about. They sit down and you can tell that she is just sweating because Stacy is just not stopping. Like, oh yeah, remember we went to your favorite restaurant spot? Here goes Ashley. Oh, you mean Tally Ho? And then it comes out that, yeah, they did meet up. And then that's when Karen had no choice but to come out. And she's like, now I remember. Yes, we went to my favorite restaurant. I ordered the scrambled eggs with orange juice. Yes, I love that restaurant. I don't remember talking about Wendy though. Like, Karen is so full of alcohol. I mean, shit, like, please, Karen. And Stacy just continued exposing her. She was just like, look, I've been holding on to everything that she said about everybody in this group for months. But you know what? It is what it is. Because if she wants to come at me like this, there's no rules, right? And then here goes Jazelle. Wait a minute. Wait, can you spill everything else about what she said about all of us? Jazelle, I'm pretty sure at this point you've heard it all about you, so there shouldn't come a surprise. Mia, she shows up and she was just like in her confessional. She was like, you know what, like Mia and Karen, like we have just gone through a lot and I'm just like, I'm done. Like, I just feel like she treats me like really terrible and I'm just done putting myself in that situation with Karen Huger anymore. I'm just not doing it with her. And Bravo, what's your problem with cutting out scenes from the season? Because where was the episode where Wendy confronts Karen about this whole situation and she's crying to her, asking her like, why would you say this about me? Where was that? But instead we see Kenya and Walter. They get the mics, and for a second, I really thought that TJ was going to pull a pray tell from the show Pose, and he was going to be like, category is dog realness. But now everybody came out, they started walking around with the dogs. It was really, really cute. The dogs were so adorable until it wasn't, because some idiot put like this smoke thing in the air. The dogs got scared. They started shitting all over the place, all over the floor. It became a disaster. Everybody started freaking out. Karen ran. She started throwing up. Karen said that it was because, the poop, but secretly, it was because of probably she was drinking in the car, but that's allegedly or whatever. I'm like, okay, Karen, sure. I'm like, everybody was just freaking out, going crazy. The event would have been shut down right then. Then we see 5 months later, and we see Karen and Ray. They're walking out their house dressed in all black like the Omen. Ray, he's barely awake. He still needs like 30 more minutes of sleep. He has a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in his pocket just in case if he gets hungry at the court. And, they're off, to see what's the fate of Karen Huger. And obviously we know how that turns out because it says that, she's awaiting her sentencing. And I believe that she's facing 2 years in jail. And, I already discussed all of this 2 videos ago. But Karen, I just don't know what she expected. Like, she should have just pled guilty because, she probably just never thought that the video was going to be leaked or something, because I'm not sure what reality she was living in, but I don't know. If this is her first time getting a DUI, maybe I can see her getting away free, but this is her second time and it was serious, Karen. So I don't know. It's just a 50-50 chance that if she goes to jail, she's not going to be at the reunion. She is there through a video, But even then, I'm not sure, and we shall see how the whole thing turns out at the reunion. The reunion looks crazy. Stacy, you're about to be exposed. Like, yikes. But we shall see how this whole thing turns out. Let me know what you all thought about this whole entire season down in the comments. What you thought about the finale. What you think about Karen. Do you think that she's going to jail or not? And I also explained why I haven't been able to review every single episode of The Real Housewives with Salt Lake City, Beverly Hills, or Potomac 2 videos ago. So if you're curious about that, I explained it all in that video. But, until then, we'll see each other when we can see each other, okay? So let me know what you all thought about this whole entire finale and season down in the comments. Bye, everybody. Mwah.